and the ninjas in pajamas. Vitality reigns supreme on map number 1, and now we head to the map pick of Nuke. Now this is a Vitality home ground. This is a good map they're very, very solid on, and one NIP have not been so great on in recent times.
Yeah, and even though Vitality's win percentage doesn't look fantastic on this map, it still looks okay. It's recently, yeah, that they've been getting the wins, right? 16-6 against Mouse Sports to kick this tournament off. 16-6 against Fnatic as well. Vitality have been in great form on this map, and Rez has the dualies, Dinker.
He does. The dual Beretta is coming into the pistol round, but it's a quick play to the ramp, and Hampus looking to hold on as the attack continues to run in towards his position. It's Plopsky that'll now be tested. They have redirected the attack to the underpower of Heaven, and that is going to be Masuda with the initial kill, RPK as well, but now the only player left to defend is Rez with dual Berettas, and that is not going to go well. Nock, he is getting one, but Zaiwu is quickly followed up, and Vitality, an easy pistol round for them. It's just Hampus left alone, and he's towards outside trying to chip away with this USP. Vitality picking up one on the board, and Hampus just cowering away, trying to find at least one or two of these exits, but it looks like Vitality are not even too much. It's RPK that's been dropped, and at least slow it down.
Vitality making sure Hampus can't save the dualies, obviously the most important thing here. Hampus just looking for kills, wants some money, but Vitality have this round 1. Ooh, Hampus falls at the end. Zaiwu with 2 kills from the pistol. I've got to say, it looked like to begin with, Nip were dealing with that early aggression into Hell fairly well, right? They were falling back. They were taking fights that seemed okay for them. I just think they didn't land their shots here in the pistol round. They tried to line up that crossfire between the player at Heaven and Hell. Neither of them able to get anything done. And from that point, Vitality could just run over the A-bomb site. There wasn't much more resistance there. So good start for Vitality. I like the fast play, even though Nip seemed somewhat prepared for it, even though Nip reacted somewhat well positionally, they just don't land the shots. But now the force buy comes through for the Swedes, and Plopsky is already pushed into Hut. That's a good bit of information to gather.
Yeah, there's a lot of information gathered. And Shocks towards the top of Secret Stairs, the Vitality having full yard control, but look at this. Plopsky, he spots the feet of RPK, and the MP9 rattles off enough shots to take RPK out of the round. And now Nock trying to hold on. The Deagle around the corner too. Picked up for Nock. Filthy kills. And now Shocks left alone. Somehow NIP have done it. They will win this force by round. Shocks has to pull off a 1v4. And that's just not realistic. But he's collected the first. Having received a lot of damage though, that decreases his chances further. And you've got Plopsky up on top. Silo Shocks won't be ready for that. Nearly is able to flick up though, and Plopsky will take him down. Round picked up for NIP, and they desperately need a good start here. So that is a fantastic round to win.
Yeah, Plopsky gets that early kill at Hut, and then this crossfire. This is what I was talking about from the pistol round. That setup isn't too dissimilar to what we saw in the pistol, where there were 2 players stacked in that spot. It's just this time the shots are landed from NIP. Twist gets 1 kill and gets traded. Nort gets a couple of shots to land, and that means that Nort gets rewarded with an AWP into his hands here very early in the game, while Vitality are scraping together a buy from the bottom of the barrel. Zaiwu gets 1 Galil. There are barely any nades for them here. This is just going to come down to shots for Vitality. They're going to rely on landing some shots early to get into this one.
Hampus has an angle. RPK has been shut down to 38 HP. Hampus with the headshot. Zaiwu falling victim to it. And Masuda's got in behind. Hampus needs to be careful. He will go down. And now it's an M4 recovery from Masuda. He looks to do a little bit more with it as well. He's close. But Plopsky gets a double kill. Luckily, Apex available to get at least 1 back in for Vitality. And they have a chance for more damage. That's all they're really looking for in this round. Rez, Twist, and Nock. The 2 Galils, the AWP. It's looking good for NIP. Apex and Shocks will try their best to do more damage for Vitality, to drop a few extra plays. They got 35 seconds to do it. Apex is going to wrap around Heaven. He has recollected that bomb, but Twist is in Hell, and now this position towards Heaven is going to throw a spanner into the works for Apex. I don't think he caught the timing, but he spots the head. Twist will fall, and now they're going to run to the B bomb site. Now they have a chance to win the round, not only do damage. Retake, or will it be a stop to the plant? Rez has already got down here quickly. Bomb plant coming through. That nade might just do it. It might just finish off a player, but Apex gets away, and now it has to be a 2v2 retake, Alex. Look at the positions for Vitality.
Both coming in from Decon, but they've been able to push out onto the site. Last flashbang thrown for Vitality, but Shox is on the flank. He has to open back up the door. It's not planted for him. They know they're not on the bomb, though. Shox finally pulls the trigger. Great shot onto the first man, and Rez is looking both ways. Apex shoots him in the back. What a round for Vitality. They come away with it.
How Vitality managed to pull that off? NIP had an AWP and 2 Galils into that round, still left alive in a 3v2, but it's just perfect ingenuity from the likes of Apex. His walking yard, he had so much space to work with, so he just keeps walking. He keeps seeing how much more space he can take. As soon as he gets that kill to Twist at Heaven, that he just makes a beeline for that lower site, and they play it to perfection. A really good play from Shox, wrapping around the bomb. Like you said, wasn't planted for him, but that's the trick, right? That's the genius behind that play. They're not going to be expecting that. And he comes in with a flank. Flashbang's not good, but he has a second one. It'll be ineffective as Hampus has gone back towards Decon stairs.
I like how as soon as you said the genius behind that play, we then get to see Shox throw a flash at a wall. The two sides of Shox.
He used it all up. He used it all up in that last round.
I've got to say, I am surprised that Nuke wasn't faster to rotate to Yard in that last round. Because remember, Nuke had the AWP in that round. I thought he was going to be quick to rotate to help Hampus, who was taking those early fights. And that might have been enough to make the difference, but Nuke never really got involved. Now we've got another force buy. It's been back and forth at the start of this game, but Plopsky playing up close. Gets one, gets two. Plopsky looking for a third. Shox finally trades him, and here comes the flank into the A site.
Rez holding on, has an AK now to play with. RPK, an important headshot, but still a chance for NIP to win this round. Bomb has to be recollected by Shox. Does he go to B? Does he drop down to the lower site right now while RPK holds them down? He's got another one. Not going down as well. And RPK playing in the smoke, delaying, creating distraction as Shox plants the bomb on the B site. They now have to go for this retake. They should realize it's not the A site very quickly, and RPK somehow gets away. They drop down the vent, and Shox showing up, gets the double kill. Yet another round where Vitality looked like they're in a position to lose it, and Shox steps up alongside RPK.
Oh, when Shox is clutching, you know that Vitality are looking in good shape. Had to get that scrappy trade to begin with. Plopsky did a really nice job on this off angle at getting 2 kills in the first place, but Shox was one step ahead of them, winning another important clutch round for the team. And finally, it looks like Vitality will be able to take firm control, firm grasp on the economy. NIP have default pistols in this round, no investment for them, so they're all just going to try and stack together, maybe see if they can catch one of the Vitality players overextending. But thanks to a couple of key clutches from Shox, Vitality should have early control.
Well, it was scrappy. It certainly was, but Vitality, no matter when they look down and out, there's a player to stand tall. Shox has been involved in both of those clutches now. RPK, though, you cannot take away the impact he delivered in that last round, just staying alive on that A site, allowing Shox the time to get the bomb down, delivering around for Vitality. Now just a slower, more tentative approach now from Vitality as they take the A bomb site. No one here for NIP. No one causing any problems. Bomb shall go down for Vitality. And NIP move as a unit. All 5 players should try and do something here with these USPs. 4 making their way through Secret. And Hampus is already towards Hell. Climbing up, getting towards Heaven, and the MAC-10 is good on Shox. Zywo at long range with the Galil. This is where he should turn them into mince meat, but he's been dropped to 28, so decides to fall away. Allows the rest of the team to do some damage here. Hampus peers over the top of Heaven.
Just looking for some more damage here on the NIP side of things. RPK has to be careful. He doesn't get shot in the back. It looks like Vitality will be safe, though. They won't die to the bomb. They will all get away. That's a 4-1 lead for Vitality. I've got to say, Dinko, I feel like Vitality are one of the teams that have the most players who are really good in the clutch, right? You have ZywOo, who's incredible in clutch scenarios. You have Shox, who is famous for it. Masuta, we've already seen win a couple of clutches for this team. They've got a lot of players that are capable. That you've got to make sure you always put them away, even if you're in those close scenarios. But we finally got the buyback for NIP. Nuke having to go glass cannon on the AWP. He might not get the shots he wanted, but he lands a leg onto ZywOo. Vitality are down secret.
Ooh, that smoke will be enough to deter them. They're actually going to come away from the position. Twist. Successful in finding RPK, and that's the opening kill for NIP into the round. They've got the man advantage to play with. And Team Vitality, they haven't went back to the yard. Instead, they hold back and wait out that smoke and will re-aggress down in towards the secret stairs, putting pressure into the lower side. Molotov clearing the stairs, but it's Hampus at the decon stairway. And he will try and cross these players over. ZywOo low at HP, still lands the headshot. And that's the turning of the tides yet again. 4v4, back at the even odds, but that nade might just finish off ZywOo. It's a done deal. Twist throws it on in, and now he's dropped into the site as well. He's got a decent position, but Apex just runs over the top of him. Nuke changing up his position now with the initial kill. Plays more passive towards ramp. Will be waiting for his teammates to come through, and he might just get this kill with the aggressive play. Masuda looked like he wanted to go around the corner. Will be holding on, but Plopsky is now gathered with the AWP. Any aggression from Vitality would be instantly answered. And right now, NIP holding the advantage into the round, moving forward with both players on the ramp. They're having to frag out here. There's no other option. They need the kills, and Masuda cannot get it done. Shox instead now switches out. He's got the MAC-10, trades position, and the flash goes up. He's only got the MAC-10 to try and win this round. The first, he's got a little bit of ammo left. He goes for the knife, but the defuse through the smoke. Shox still made it look like he had a chance, but it's NIP winning out the round.
Yeah, even with the MAC-10, Shox is confident to go for the fights. He knew he had to rush to the bomb, and he makes it way closer than most players would have. Really nice effort there from Shox. The aggressive play with the MAC-10 nearly pays off for him. And look at the difference that makes, Dinko. Just that damage done by Shox at the end of the round makes all the difference to NIP's buy. They can't get full rifles out on the NIP side now. They're down to a couple of MP9s. They don't have the AWP. This gives Vitality an even better chance to reset NIP's economy again and get off to a really good start. So shout out to Shox for that extra damage. And now you can see Nuke isn't as confident holding yard because he doesn't have that AWP.
And that's just going to give so much more space for Vitality to play with. And Shox, the early signs show that he's feeling it right now. And that is very scary. You know what happens when Shox can show up to the server? It can be a deadly, deadly force. Alongside the likes of ZywOo. You've got so many players, so many combinations that you can pull out of your Vitality to land those knockout punches, and NIP have got to get back up and keep fighting, because right now, a map down in the series, heading on to a map that Vitality are very comfortable on. And Twist in towards Hell. Shox out to the right side. Twist is just completely stuck here, forced into the open. Shox with a headshot. Well played from Vitality.
Now NIP are going to be in this really uncomfortable position where they're getting wrapped from heaven. Hampus, though, gets one kill in the back lines. Masuta, only one kill for Vitality on this A play. They're getting caught out right now. Plopsky, though, only has the MP9, and he's about to be closed in on. It's up to Hampus. He's been mollied out. He's got to go. He's got to go now, and it's not going to work out for him. He nearly gets the kill onto Apex, but Apex survives on a slither of health. Vitality up to a 5-2 lead. And there have been a ton of close rounds in the mix, Dinko. But again, it's Vitality just edging out these rounds, getting control of the economy. And this is where they can really start to build up a good amount of rounds on this T side.
Yeah, and that's going to be enough, I feel, on the T side, right? If you're just edging out the rounds, you're just getting them over the line. It's enough to give yourself a very comfortable scoreline. And Vitality should be looking at 6 right now. 6-2 up, T side. That's very comfortable for Vitality. We know what the individuals can do when they get over to that CT side as well. We know what ZywOo can do with the AWP when he gets it in his hands on this map. So things will be quite scary for Vitality going into the next half as well. So, or should I say NIP going into the next half. So it's all about picking up as many rounds as possible here for the Ninjas. So far, not off to the greatest of starts. Vitality will reach 6 rounds on the board. We'll see the money in the next round for NIP. But yet again, like you said, you pointed this out. Nuke, I don't think he's going to have enough for that ult, but if he does, he's going to be either having to sacrifice the Kevlar or a heap of utility. A bit of damage coming here. Hampus has picked up one. Another kill for Nuke. Let's just give him extra cash to play with, and every kill that he gets here is huge. And just the one twist will fall as well. 6-2 for Vitality. They do lose 2 players, but Nuke, that gives him some extra cash to play with, so now he can buy that AWP comfortably. He will not have much utility, but at least he'll have the AWP out.
Yeah, absolutely. That does make the difference. That extra $300 you were talking about for that one USP kill. You're right. That's going to get him the AWP with the Kevlar if he wants it. Over on the Vitality side, though, even though they lose some players there, it's not as bad as it could have been because they had a couple of MAC 10s in that round anyway. They knew they were up against a low buy. I do think it's important that NIP get that AWP out for Nuke, though. I think Vitality have been finding a bit too much success at Yard. We've seen them go down secret. We've seen them wrap into heaven now in these gun rounds. They're very successful so far on the Vitality side at just getting that Yard control. And once that happens against you on the CT side, you're kind of forced into only a few possible reactions, right? You have to maybe push somewhere else. You have to try and take some control elsewhere. You can't just let them flank that A site. Smoke down from Rez. I don't know if that's where he wanted it to go, but it's not going to be awful for him. Vitality, not with the AWP in this round. In fact, Masuta's still with the MAC 10 in this one. And they're going to take their time ahead of what is a pretty important gun round for NIP.
Yeah, very important. I've already highlighted the fact that any more rounds that go in favor of Vitality will be heavily favor them going into that next half, right? They'll just be looking extremely solid. We know what the individuals can do when they get onto that defensive side. We know that they can be incredibly strong. So NIP need to do everything to make this first half somewhat competitive. Already down 6-2. This gun round needs to go their way, and it's a good start for Hampers. The initial kill is NIP. Can they find a follow-up? Klopski holding on. One kill would have been enough, but he doesn't get anything. Instead, now Rez and Nuke holding on. They do a good job, and it's ZywOo and Shox left alone in a 2 versus 3.
Still doable for them. These are 2 of the players I talked about previously as being great in these late round scenarios. ZywOo and Shox, but ZywOo almost gets caught out. He wins the fight, though. Twist with the FAMAS can't get it done. ZywOo survives on 16 health. And now Shox might be looking to make a play of his own. They could just group up, though. They could just both go down to the B side of the map, and that's going to be the call for Vitality. The B site is wide open. They're going to have the chance to set up this post-plant Dinko, and Shox and ZywOo have got to be liking their chances right now.
Yeah, certainly. But the problem is ZywOo's on 16 HP, so that does make things a little more scary. And 7 seconds left. Shox eventually going for the plant, committing to it, and then they can fall back safely. No one from NIP close by to be able to capitalize on these opportunities with the players out of position. ZywOo has taken a pretty good spot right now up in the rafters. He's playing actually on top of the bomb site cylinder right now, so this is definitely a risky position for ZywOo on low HP, but if there's a player to pull anything off, it is ZywOo. As now Rez and Nuke, the doors swing wide open. ZywOo has the perfect position if he looks up to the control room, but he spots the feet of Nuke, and there is the kill from Rez. Shox now having to win the 1v2. He's taking the first down, and Nuke will win it for NIP, but there's no kit, and there's no time. It's going to be Vitality taking a 7th round. And that is just the lack of resources coming back to bite NIP. They will at least get the open to the next round, but Vitality yet again winning another mid-round call and another clutch going their way.
There's that first kill from ZywOo over to Yard, but then this one, he clears Twist, and Twist will be kicking himself. That could have been the moment where the round went the way of NIP. Instead, it comes into that clutch scenario that Vitality end up winning by time. I like the attempted switch up from Vitality in that round as well. They faked the Yard play, but now they're going for a fast A play. No time to waste here, and Plopski is not ready for that. Masuta's so quick on the trigger.
Apex trying to hold for this aggression around the corner. Currently, Rez peeking through. He has taken a lot on board. He's down to 24, and Vitality should have no problems in picking up an 8th round now. NIP not finding too many chances and shots. Oh, looked away at the wrong time. It comes back quick enough. And 8 rounds already for Vitality on this T side with plenty more opportunities for more. This is starting to get very worrying for NIP. They haven't really shown us too much. The fact they've come close in a couple of rounds, but yeah, Shox goes down there. That's a nice AK for Hampus. You'll not be complaining about that. Just walking around the corner, just a dead Shox in the corner, just providing him an AK. Thank you very much. Hampus will take that.
Double AWP setup for NIP looks to be the answer to their problems. It was talked about by Maniac previously that Twist didn't get the AWP out for a while on the CT side of Mirage. Finally, he gets it into the 11th CT round of Nuke. He'll be playing in ramp, but Hampus is going to get aggressive at Yard. This has been the problem position for NIP in a lot of these rounds. Apex just run past him. Easy kill in the back for Hampus. And finally, they hold Yard, but now the ramp play about to come through.
Now, Twist has had a couple of moments where he has not been able to do a whole lot, but this round is different. He's had one already. And he's going to drop down. Nuke could be doing a lot of work with this AWP. The first can't get the second. RPK, quick on the headshot. But a 2 versus 4 and 2v5 in total. For Vitality, this is just looking a little too unlikely. I mean, they've been able to pull some ridiculous rounds back, but this one, this should be NIP all over. This should finally be another one added to the tally. They haven't been able to win too many yet, so they'll take as much as they can. But Vitality will still fancy at least a small chance into this round. They go back down the ramp. There's a player at the back of the site. That is Twist, who did start on the ramp but is now here on lower. They should be aware of that possibility. And he's got the AWP in his hands. It comes down to the timing, whether or not these Vitality players get on top of him quickly or not. And well, he's going to peek out and catch a player in the open, but he's going to miss the shot. And that gives them the info they need. Also a chance still for Vitality to do something in this round, but the flank from Hampus, that AK coming back to bite Shox. And now it's just RPK left in a 1v4, an impossible scenario, and a third round from the Ninjas in pajamas.
And nice for NIP to get a third round win. Vitality have been switching things up in the last couple of rounds, though. They've been trying to use Yard more as just a position where one player pushes, and then they've been trying to fake Yard and make plays elsewhere. The problem with that is NIP have finally adapted over at Yard. They finally started to win those early fights and keep that control. So I think now might be the time for Vitality to just go back to that Yard play that was so successful previously, see if you can draw some rotation, see if you can get some early map control. Hampus is playing this same spot while Nuke sits back with the AWP, so it's this similar setup from NIP. And this time Vitality do look a little bit more focused on Yard to begin with, which I'm happy about. I think that's probably the safest call here for Vitality, right? A couple of switch-ups haven't worked too well for you. You can just go back looking for the Yard play, slow things down, and see what sort of response NIP go for. Because once you get that Yard control, the CTs have to do something a lot of the time. They have to kind of switch things up slightly, and then you can try and make the most of that. So in come the Yard smokes. I'm glad to see this. Vitality going back to basics.
Yeah, utility being used up. A very nice wall of smokes coming up here from Vitality. It's pretty to look at. And what Nuke trying to peer over the top of the smoke. He doesn't spot anybody crossing with him, and that's because no one has. RPK falls victim to res, trying to hold on for more, but it's not going to be enough. Instead, finally, Plopsky striking onto the hold. He'll get one kill before falling quite quickly, and Vitality are doing a lot of damage in terms of being able to shut down these defending players without them getting multi-kills. That's incredibly important for Vitality, and they're going to hold the advantage. Twist is pushed through the ramp, but 2 AWPs in this retake, not really fancying their chances right now. They would have to take a big blunder from Vitality. A mistake made, and what Twist, the aim punch coming through, the shot goes into the roof, and well, Nuke not getting anything done. He missed the shot in the hold initially, and now has to fall away, and these AWPs having to save such a huge investment for NIP. They can't afford to let them slide. At least one there on the exit for Nuke. There's 9 rounds for Vitality, and NIP slithering back into spawn to save these weapons into the next.
And Nuke trying to use that little cheeky smoke that you can put at the back of Heaven there to find some fair fights, to find some easier kills. Didn't really help him, though, because Vitality were all playing on the other side of the site. I've got to say as well, Apex was able to sneak into main there. Even though he doesn't get a kill, he helps gather information as NIP lost track of him. And also, Shox was so patient at Yard in that round. He didn't push with his teammates into A. He waited at Yard. He knew that Hampus was probably somewhere close by, and he won that fight to make a big difference in the round. That's what got them the man advantage, because he played it so patiently. Shox right now is just looking really good individually, really good positionally, As soon as I say that, though, Dinko, he loses the fight against Hampus. I'm sorry, Shox. I cursed you.
If you're a Shox fan or a Vitality fan and anything goes wrong, you can hit up Hulk on social media. HulkaCS on Twitter. Or is an underscore in there somewhere as well?
I'm sorry, there's some dumb underscore in there because I'm an idiot.
You can find it. You can find it. Well, nonetheless, is Vitality taking their time in their approach. Masuda outside the doorway. Just over a minute in play right now for Vitality. And Twist crossing over to the old vent. You've also got Rez tucked him in. This is a decent setup for NIP. A lot covered right now for this attack, and Vitality about to come through. They might just get torn to shreds as this attack continues to run on through the A bomb side. Twist called in the action. That's the bomb found. A second opportunity, but Twist only gets the one. And yet again, it feels like there just isn't enough done on that initial A site haul from NIP. It has to be the retake from the double ops, and I just don't see this happening. They're going to try nonetheless. They need rounds now, Alex. You can't just continuously save because you're just going to allow double figures on the T side. So Hampus goes over the top and Sidewolf not ready for that. Now it's Apex in a 1v2 and he thought that was the player heaven, but Hampus already crossed out to the left side and the double up setup do win the retake.
Hampus being very careful with his drops down, doesn't want to die to full damage. And yeah, NIP get the round with the double AWP retake. And I think NIP, you're right in the A trades to begin with aren't always looking great. But at the same time, they're getting it into close-ish positions where sometimes it can be difficult to play the post plant on the A site from the T side. You see there, Vitality are kind of committed to the site. They're not exactly ready for those angles. The problem has just been that they've always had AWPs on the retake. But this time, the AWPs land the shots up close. Nice work. And another round for Nip.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? It's fine if you're equal trading, I feel, on that A-bomb side when you've got the rifles on the retake, but it's the double-up setup there, left having to retake the A side. So it feels like you kind of want that man advantage, but like they did in the last round, they got it down into the even odds, and the ops actually win out the retake. The positions were not solid from Vitality. They didn't really have time to get into good post plans, so yeah, solid stuff from NIP in the retake, and a desperately needed round win. 4 on the board now. All in the hands of Nuke. They're back to the solo AWP. And there'll be 4 M4s around it with good utility. Vitality's money, it's enough, but it's not exactly ideal. Oh, Rez. That's confident. And he has taken down Zywoo. He's got him out of the round early on, but he's traded back by Apex.
Yeah, Vitality finally going back to this secret play. I think this was the right time for it. You've lost a couple of rounds towards A. Sure, they've been close rounds, but you don't need to get baited into going back to that A site. You get the trade at Yard. Now you've got that map control. And again, this is where Nip have to make up their minds, but Nort gets the timing right. Masuda not ready for that fight. Shox still closing the distance, though, and Apex has found another kill elsewhere. So it's back to a 3v3. Nort dropping down to A as well, and Shox is on the flank. Oh, this could be difficult for Nork. You can already see he's having to push into lobby, and this is where it gets so difficult. Shox has that flank lined up, and the A site is lost.
Twist coming from behind. Shox hits that kill as well. That should secure the round win for Vitality. They should be looking at 10 rounds, no problem here. Hampus walking forward. His head hanging down because the round is not looking good for NIP. He'll walk up heaven. He will attempt for the round win. But the chances are very, very slim.
They're actually pretty far from the bomb.
He could just go onto the bomb, I guess.
Oh,
he has got the
flanked,
kit. He's got the smoke, and he needs to be careful here. What's outside? There is a player just checking, but Hampus, he's going to dive down to the side. He's got a smoke. He's got the smoke down, the flash as well. He's going to stick the defuse. They're not close enough. Finally, RPK slings out to the right side. Dig a little bit troublesome that for Vitality, but they get the round nonetheless. And Hampus, I definitely respect the effort.
I was a little bit spooked for a second there, Dinko. I mean, I know Halloween's coming up, but they didn't have to make that round that scary, okay? God damn.
I was waiting for it, actually. I haven't had any of those jokes yet, but it's come through. Has to get one in before the end of the first half, which is coming up right after.
Dinko, this is me before I'm even a dad. Imagine when I'm a dad, all the dad jokes I'm going to.
I don't want to imagine that. I don't want to imagine that, Hulk. That's a world I do not want to imagine. And while we head into round number 15, Alex, back to another one of those scrappy buys from NIP, but the aggression through ramp has worked out for Twist, and Knock also following up. A 4v3, a man advantage in play for the CT side, and Hampus landing a shot onto Shox, but it's not enough for death. Instead, it's Knock that will get the follow-up kill for NIP, who now stand in a 2-man advantage.
Just off the individuals, really. NIP just kind of loosen up in this round, right? They go for some ballsy plays, and they pay off for them. I was about to say in the previous round, I really liked that Vitality were just going for the yard play again, because I feel like NIP are struggling when they're forced to go for those rotates. That's when they're struggling the most. But in this round, they don't need to rotate because they're just winning the fights. Nork's got 2 kills already. Now ZywOo has certainly spotted that man. Oh, he wants the wallbang. He wants the wallbang. He's not going to get it. He's going to instead try and move towards Shox's position, because with 35 seconds left, they've got to get together. ZywOo still has the bomb, but he misses 2 shots. Very uncharacteristically, and Nick close out the half with a 5th round. They salvage it slightly, but there's still more work to do in that second half.
Just can't let you go. Lord knows that I've tried to. You said I was the only one. No one likes being lied to. You made this mess and left me with the pieces. Now I wanna burn all the bridges between us. I've been stuck on memory, but it's not like I need it. And you may have some history, but we don't have to repeat it. You made this mess and left me with the pieces. Now I'm gonna burn all the bridges between us.
T rounds from Vitality on their map pick of Nuke has got to feel good for them heading into the second half. I think they're in pole position to close this one out, Dinko, and if NIP want any chance, this pistol round is probably the place they need to start.
Vitality have certainly given themselves a huge lead to play with going into the defensive side, and now NIP, we'll see if they can get off to a good start. They're applying pressure towards ramp early on, and now Shox is going to be under the pressure. Masuda as well. They have cleared the first play, but will they expect Shox to clear him? They've just run right past Shocks. My God, that's disgusting. 3 kills collected. A 4th as well, and Shocks could tear them all to pieces. The cleanest hold you'll see. And Twist finally rattling one back for NIP, but it's Shocks that looks to decimate them all. He's still alive. The rest of his team are falling, and RPK will secure the round. What a hold from Shocks. That is just filth on the hold.
Oh, Shocks does him dirty in the pistol round. Those are the hardest shots to land, by the way. Glaive tweeted, it's so hard to shoot people not looking at you in the back of the head on those pistol rounds. And Shocks is just like, yeah, I'm just going to one-tap both of them. I'm going to make it look easy. And that's what helps him get the quad kill, because if he doesn't get those kills clean, he's probably going to get traded. But man, oh man, Shocks is playing well today. 19 kills. He's had so many impactful rounds here on Nuke. And Nip are shook after that one, Dinko. They need a pause.
Yeah, so am I. That is just ridiculous from Shocks. Coming around the corner, you have the setup from Masuda. They clear him. They think that's everything. Plofsky looked like he checked Shocks, and Shocks does very well not to fire the bullet. If I was in that position, I would have thought Plofsky had seen me, but he doesn't fully check the corner. It's a lazy peek. That allows Shocks just to take down multiple players. So clean on the USP. It's 11 rounds for Vitality, and that is just disgusting. NIP will have to try and do it in this force buy, and they don't get the bomb down, so their money is looking rough. So it's the Tech 9s, it's the CZs, they all drop down. Hampus is in the vent. We'll see what he can do with this. Shocks is here already, applying pressure. And now the rest of the push coming through towards the ramp. It's worked out. 2 kills for NIP.
This could be an upset after that pistol round was won so well. 2 players lost for Vitality, and I'm so glad that Nip took the time out ahead of this round, because you know that there is going to be that little bit of frustration that you didn't clear that corner. You let Shocks do that to you. So they take the time out. They get something planned quickly for this round, mainly just focusing on getting towards the B bomb site quickly to try and be able to secure that bomb plant at a minimum. And it works out wonderfully for them. Apex just kind of got caught in transition there. He didn't realize they were so far out at ramp already, so he peeks out a bit too wide, wasn't fully prepared for it, and that gives Nip the round. So credit to Nip, Dinko. They've done really well in this second round. Even though it's not as flashy as Shocks' play, it's not as nice looking, it's a really important round for them to win. And even though Vitality save a couple of guns, the rest of the players are going to have such little money. When you get reset like this on the CT side, you have very little to work with. So we're probably just going to see what Vitality can get into this round. But if they lose this one, then Nip can start strong on their T side, as we needed to see from them.
Yeah, you know, if they lose that round, Vitality up to 12. They're looking like they're going to close things, looking like they're stepping in the right direction. But NIP, they stand tall. They get a round win under their belt that they desperately need. And now a chance to compete in the second half. Hampers towards outside early on. Crosses behind red. He starts moving forward. There's a player at credit card as well. You have Masuda coming out through the secret stairs with the MP9. RPK, with this for Mask, could do it to these NIP players. They have cross behind him and in front. NIP, they need to check this. RPK, he's going to find Plopsky. He's going to find... Oh my God, he should have found 2, but with the spray onto Plopsky. And Hampus turns away. He gets away with that. And NIP, they should have been down 2 players here, but RPK fluffs his lines, and NIP still survive on the server. Twist takes a headshot, but Masuda from the secret stairs launches towards Hampers. Another play into the A bomb site. NIP are getting absolutely destroyed and toyed with, and Shocks pushes in from behind. 2 kills, a lot of money picked up, and a 12th round for Vitality. NIP, that is just a real bad round from them, unfortunately. Just not really thinking about the full moves across the board. They don't check RPK. They should have been down 2 players there. Then the attack comes in, is disjointed, and the flank from Shocks was always coming through.
Yeah, Shocks again, just positionally outdoing NIP. I feel like at this point, NIP just need to be checking their backs every couple of seconds, because Shocks is behind them again. Nice play from ZywOo as well. Gets ahead of the smoke, gets aggressive. Make sure that Shocks has the chance to pull off that flank. He realized that Shocks was in a position where he just needed the information. He just needed a little distraction to get in from behind. And even though ZywOo only gets 1 kill there, he completely opens it up for Shocks to have a much easier time on the flank. So just good awareness from ZywOo. Even though it's only 1 kill, it helps make all the difference in the round. speaking of ZywOo, again, a quiet game for him, 9 kills, but I don't think he'll care too much, considering Vitality are winning 12-6. And as long as they can win this one, as long as they can hold on against the Force by this time, they're going to be in such great shape.
Yeah, that's the thing. This war of attrition that starts in the second half, it might just be won by Vitality here. And if it is, Alex, it looks like it might be enough to win the map. And the series will follow suit. So a very important round yet again for NIP. These are the deciding factors, and Masuda has just spotted Hampus drop in front of him. He will collect that initial kill for Team Vitality, but a couple of kills have come back in for NIP. Knock on the Deagle, Rez following up. And now, well, a 4v3 favoring NIP, so a chance to still win this round.
Oh, ZywOo's position is great. Good headshot. Might be able to deliver even more damage here, but NIP aren't even going to clear out his position. He's been able to sneak into hell. And this is a spot that Nip might not be ready for. ZywOo's still wanting some action, but Nip have just pumped the brakes completely. 40 seconds left on the clock. They're not moving whatsoever, but they've got to make a move eventually. And finally, the Swedes are going to have to make up their minds. Twist is close to the A site, so that looks to be the final call. But there are 2 CTs in heaven right now, and ZywOo's one of them. Instant kill.
ZywOo is just a wraith right now on the server. You don't know where he is. He's changing his position constantly. And Vitality, they just have such a beast on their team. 2 kills for ZywOo in this round and 13 for Vitality on the board. NIP, it looked like they still had a chance starting that off. They had those 2 initial kills to pick things up. And then it all fell apart from this kill onwards. ZywOo positions himself perfectly, destroys that outside push, and Vitality now on 13 rounds, 3 away from victory in the series, and NIP having to go for the full eco.
A full Glocks. Flock of Glocks for Nip to try and swarm a site, to try and do something. I know this game has been back and forth in the second half, Dinko, but this has got to be too much. I don't see the Glocks doing anything here.
Yeah.
Apex. Okay, no, ZywOo gets the shot to begin with. I mean, the Glocks are trying their best, Dinko, but this is not exactly Glock range, is it?
ZywOo should have a field day towards outside. Yeah, these Glocks just never gonna be expected to do too much. Vitality is all about just style points, adding around to the tally. It's holding the ridge. The headshot.
I love how Nip is still trying.
Yeah, they're still trying, Alex. I mean, you gotta respect it to an extent. You know, they're still trying. They never give up. But it doesn't really matter. They're going to be cleaned up in the end.
How much damage would a Glock Dink even do at that range? Like 40 maybe?
12 damage, I would say, Alex. 14-6. Vitality are now 2 away. Easy round for them. Easy pickings towards outside. A little prolonged, but NIP attempted nonetheless. And now the AK-47s come out.
I don't want to get ahead of myself, Dinko, but so far in this tournament, Vitality have played Nuke twice. They won it 16-6 both times. I'm seeing the possibility for another 16-6 win here, as long as Vitality can win this one. And Apex is getting aggressive. The early incendiary has allowed him to hold this angle. Flash comes through. Apex dodges it, tries to spray away, but there are so many players against him. He gets spammed through the smoke. And ZywOo doesn't have clear vision. Oh, Shox does, though. He's got a potential knife. He's just going to take the free kill, though.
Masuda holding on around the corner. Hampus about to put pressure onto Masuda holding. He'll do well onto the first, but can't quite get the second. He was close to taking down Rez. There's now an 11 HP. But Shox has repositioned yet again. The god of the pistol round. Can he be the hero in round 21 as well? Can he shut this round down for Vitality? He's in a good position. He's being spammed. Completely aware of the position, but the flank from ZywOo, the perfect timing. Plopsky pulls his rifle out of the way, and ZywOo with a second kill as well. Rez is alone, down and out in this round, 1 versus 3, and the dream for the 16-6 is still alive, but Rez looks to change that. He'll walk down the stairs, decon door open, and Rez just taking his time. He still has the bomb on his back. Where does he go with this? Both players on separate sides of the map. One on the upper, and could make a quick play into the A-bomb site. And Rez has a 1v1 fight in towards this B-bomb site against Shox up on the rafters. So there is still a chance for Rez to win the round. He'll start to swing out decon door, but look at the position change from Shox. I think he's just spotted him, and Rez will fall. 15-11 for Team Vitality. Patient plays from them as well. And now they're just 1 round away from taking victory in the series.
For a second there, you think Rez might have a chance with those isolated fights. Here's Twist getting very confused by Shox, who was already behind him. Again, Shox is always behind them, Dink.
I know,
always.
I know. It's ridiculous. In this game, he has just been everywhere they don't expect him to be. He's taking most of these kills without them even knowing he's there. The pistol round is a fantastic example. Rounds where he's behind them on the MP9. Big clutches where he's wrapped around decon door. Shox has been the MVP on this map. Absolutely no question. He has been so impressive on Nuke. And when Shox is having a good game, you said it in the first couple of rounds here on Nuke. If Shox is clutching, you know Vitality are going to show up. And Nuke can't even shoot the skylight window. So it's not going well for NIP right now.
Got it eventually. Flash thrown into the A site. Doesn't do a whole lot. Only 2 primary weapons for Nip. A Galil and a MAC-10. And it looks like Vitality will probably just be outclassing them here. Zywoo even just looking for fights at Yard. Zywoo's still got 99 ADR, by the way. In terms of damage done, he's actually not that far behind Shox, but Shox is coming in again.
But Rez has looked back, and just as Rez looked towards Shox's position, that's when Shox backs away. Everything is going right now for Shox. And now the attack from NIP in towards this A bomb site. Masuda now, his time to strike. Can he get anything done? RPK in the hold. Gets the 1 kill, but look at Masuda. He's behind this time, and it's 2 kills collected for Vitality. They'll be taking the win here against NIP. 16-6 on Nuke, 2-0 in the series. And it's Shox, the MVP of this map. A huge performance from him. He was always behind the Ninjas. And so far, the real test for NIP hasn't gone their way. Vitality just ahead